I think it's time. I think it's time. Hey guys, it's Josh at Reviews, and I'm back. Well, kinda. So I've been busy, as per usual. I don't know what it is. It's like I review Halloween movies, and I stop, and I review Christmas movies, and then I just stop, and then I do one or two reviews before Halloween comes around, and then I'm back. So I don't know what it is. Now, I have some reviews in the works. So stay tuned because I'm going to try to be more frequent. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be, frequently uploading, but I hope to, keep this going. So, anywho, it's been a while. I've been around watching some movies. And of course, that means I've been watching shit. Like today's movie, Knock Knock. So, as per usual, my intros are very long and I'm kind of stalling a little bit. Truth be told, I don't know what it is about slashers from the early 2000s, but they just all are the same. I don't know what it is, but they are. So, Knock Knock, not to be confused with the movie of the same name, Knock Knock, with Keanu Reeves in 2016, I think. No, this is a completely different movie from 2007. Let's see. A group of popular high school students stumble into the path of a vicious serial killer. The gruesome result leaves the town in horror as two detectives work to crack the case. Suspicions mount as the school recluse is seen wandering around in the dead of night, and the remaining survivors fear the worst. A knock that no lock can withstand. Ooh, okay, so we got ourselves a detective story. Interesting. So, how's the movie? Well, as I just stated in the intro, it's what do you think? I mean, look at this awesome cover. Look at, I want you to really just soak in this awesome cover, because this awesome cover is the best thing about the movie. Like, I don't know what it is, but early 2000s were just obsessed with flashy editing and just rapid kills and just shitting these films out onto Blockbuster video shelves. Because Blockbuster was a big thing in the early 2000s. I should know, I was part of that era, and I would just browse through the endless aisles of DVDs and just be like, ooh, that cover looks cool, so that means it's automatically a good movie. And then, of course, when Blockbuster went out of business, I browsed the OG Netflix aisle, which was, if you didn't know, Netflix actually was it was different than what it is now. They had a bunch of movies on Netflix, and they also had a lot of really bad low-budget slashers. That's how I found House of Fears, if you guys remember that review. But anywho, so Knock Knock, I'm getting really off track. This movie is not very good. It's not very good. So basically, these bunch of students are basically getting killed off one by this mass serial killer. And you want to talk about really bad slashers, like in terms of like the design. The design for this one is really bad. It's just this guy with a paper mache mask, and it doesn't look good at all. He looks like he looks like what a kid would be like, hey, I want to do my own DIY Leatherface costume. So he just gets paper mache and just glues it on his face. It looks really bad, and he was not intimidating. I'm just going to say, this movie's really fucking slow. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't know what it is with movies, but is it really that hard to make an entertaining movie? Like, I was watching this film bored. I had other things on my mind, and I'm just like sitting there thinking, please do something with the story, because the movie is about these two detectives trying to figure out who's the serial killer and what's going on. And, you know, you think with like a cool concept of like, you know, knock knock, where it's like, you know, oh, you hear knock knock and then like a knock on their door and then the killer shows up. It's like, okay, it could be interesting, but I don't really know what was like the whole knocking on the door thing. It never really comes into play until like the very end, where it's revealed like what the killer's backstory is, because they do that, you know, generic backstory thing. If you've seen enough slashers, you kind of understand the formula, especially if it's like a murder mystery type thing. And there's like a supernatural element in this film, and it just doesn't work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was kind of like, okay, where's this going to go? How is this going to play into the story? And it's very loosely explained. It's not well explained. None of the characters are fleshed out. None of the actors really sell their characters. I mean, they're teenagers, so it's not that hard to play that role, but none of them really do a good job. I mean, they're not given a lot, because the story is not, there's really nothing there. There's nothing there in terms of the story. In fact, I thought the film was going to play out like, you know, kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer, where you get to know the teens a little bit. I mean, kind of like in Scream, where you get to meet the teens, you have your opening kill out of the way, which was a very well done scene. And after you meet the teens, we follow the main character and whatnot, and their friends get killed one by one. But then the film just kind of segues into the two detectives trying to figure out the murderers. And I kept sitting there thinking, wait, I thought this was about the teenagers. And the movie never cuts back to them unless it's a kill scene. And to the film's credit, the kills are pretty cool. I mean, they're graphic as all hell. Then again, I watched the unrated director's cut, but I don't know if there is any difference, because movies all the time, especially in this caliber, they love to just slap unrated director's cut type of thing, so they can kind of just like be like, ooh, you know, don't miss out on the unrated cut, because, you know, it's just what they did. But yeah, the kills are pretty cool. They're really graphic. So if you're a gore hound, you'll probably like that. I mean, I think it even says, yeah, delivers everything a slasher fan could want. So I think if you are a slasher fan, you will get a lot of, you know, enjoyment out of the kills. But I'll just say this. The kills feel very distasteful. There's a lot of kills. And a lot of the time, while the gore was convincing and looked pretty good, there was one in particular that I liked, where it was a guy doing he's skateboarding, and as he rolls back and forth, the killer's not there, and then as soon as he gets up, he just cuts his head off and his arm, and I'm just like, okay, that was a pretty cool kill. But I mean, when I say the killer just kills, he just kills. Like, for no reason. I mean, he has a motivation, and it's explained in a long exposition scene at the end that I just kind of skipped forward to see kind of like how it played out. And I'm gonna be honest, I just got bored like midway through this film, and there was nothing, okay. None of the characters were interesting. The actors don't really do a good job. The acting ranges from kind of mediocre to just plain bad. The one female detective, I forgot her name, but she is awful. Her line delivery is awful, and oh my God. But I will say this, it did, there were some unintentionally funny lines that got a laugh out of me, so at least there's that. But her and the other detective are just kind of wandering around. You don't really get to know them that well. They don't really have much chemistry. The one male detective, I think his name is Jeremy. No, I'm not gonna try to guess. But he was the only character you kind of are like, okay, you know, I could kind of root for him. But again, they don't really do anything with his character. They don't do anything with the female detective. The friends are just kind of there to get killed, and they get killed, and you don't care for them. And then it's revealed, oh, why are they being killed? Oh, because they did this to so-and-so. And you're just, okay, I've seen it before in better and other films. Literally, this reminds me of the movie Urban Legend. Just go watch that. That movie's 10 times better than this movie. The kills are cool, but I mean, honestly, you could just skip forward to the kills and probably be like, oh, okay, oh, that's cool. And then in the movie, it's basically kills, and there's a movie sprinkled in if you want to go check it out. It's not the worst thing ever. You can definitely sit down and watch it. And if you have friends, I'm pretty sure it'll be a much better time than just me sitting down watching this movie alone by myself. So, you know, take it for what it is. It's not the worst thing, but I'm not going to watch it again. So I'm going to give this movie a D. Yeah. Knock, knock. I can't wait to watch the sequel that has nothing to do with the first one, because that's what they do. They just make sequels that have nothing to do with each other. Oh, and it's good to see you guys.